Hello, welcome to Local Matters. My name is Vicki Evans. Since beginning in 1952, Beacon Group has provided unemployment-related opportunities to people with disabilities. This includes training, development, and access to real work for this segment of our community that traditionally bears a 70% unemployment rate. Beacon Group helps people go from tax-supported to taxpayers. We're going to learn more about this organization as we welcome Patrick McCarthy. And Patrick is the Director of Development and Communications with the Beacon Group, and the organization is facing some challenges in the future, so we'll learn about those also. Welcome again, Patrick. Let's talk about what kinds of things, what kinds of training Beacon provides and jobs for people with disabilities, and how many you're serving.
All the clients that we serve come to us as referrals from the Department of Developmental Disabilities or vocational rehabilitation, VA, Pima County Mental Health, so forth. And they're referred to us for employment services. And basically it starts with an assessment and then trials, seeing what kinds of things they can do, what they're good at, what they like to do, where they're comfortable, what kinds of trainings they're going to need to move forward. All of it is developmental in nature. All of it is geared towards helping them find a place where they can successfully be employed, help support themselves, earn money, have a fulfilling life like anybody else. And in the course of a year right now, we're serving about 1,100 people. In any given time, we have 500 to 700 people in our program. We have a small facility up in Phoenix, but most of it's here at our facility in Tucson, and then out in the community at various work sites.
Congress is looking at raising the minimum wage, and those who are living or are working in what you call a sheltered worker, is that what your workers are called? That are
many of them
are called sheltered workers, and there are those that believe that the opportunity of earning minimum wage is a better thing for them than the situation in which they are now. And yet it fails to take into circumstances some realities.
Right. Yeah, it'd be wonderful if they all could. What we want them to understand is some other realities that I think are being left out of that. Basically, for the developmentally disabled, which is 70% of the people that we serve, the old system was state hospitals, and everybody agreed that those were brutal and needed to be closed. And the question is, then how do we provide services? How do we support families and help these individuals? And sheltered workshops began to spring up around the country as a way to provide a sheltered, safe environment, and yet the opportunity to learn and work and develop. I think it's one of the government systems that works very well. Thank you very much. But there are people that still see them as limiting and not helping to people to fulfill their promise, and they would like to get away with a sheltered environment and say that everybody works out in the community for minimum wage. The first thing is never going to happen. Businesses won't pay people minimum wage that cannot earn minimum wage. We worked very hard at this for decades. We know how difficult it is to find opportunities.
Give us for instance.
Well, in Arizona, for example, when we raised the minimum wage a few years back, there was no provision in there for paying people sub-minimum wage. Now, for over 60 years, there's a provision in labor law that allows you to pay someone with a diagnosed developmental disability on a regular service plan sub-minimum wage, or pay them basically based on their rate of productivity, so that they can work. Otherwise, they wouldn't have had those opportunities. And now they want to take that away, as if magically businesses will pick up the difference. And when we raised that minimum wage, the first impact was that at least half of the people that worked at Beacon would have to go home. We couldn't afford to pay them minimum wage. They didn't earn minimum wage. We would go broke very shortly, and then no one would have a job. So the system is there to pay people fairly, and it's not limiting them. And I don't believe that magically the world's going to start providing money that people haven't earned. And also, there's some erroneous assumptions, I think, that are really causing this. The first is that places like ours are dark and not very sweatshops. We don't help people move forward. We don't provide enough opportunities, and they're bad places to work. I think the people that work at Beacon love working there. I know the parents love having them working there. They know they're safe. They know they're supported. When they have really bad days, we have staff that can help them. No matter how slowly they work, they don't lose their job. They get to come back. But they also can earn as much as they're capable of earning. And we provide them with tremendous opportunities. We have 25 different kinds of jobs within our workshop that people can perform. But more than half of the people we serve work out in the community. They don't even work in our workshop. They're working at businesses.
That list we saw.
That and more. Jim Click and Raytheon and TEP and Southwest Gas.
Tucson Police Department.
PD, Biosphere, lots of places where there are niches that we can find for jobs for folks from Beacon who can move forward. They're now in the real world of work pace, association with the public and so forth. Not all of them are capable of making that leap, and some of them have to come back. But they always have opportunities to move forward. And then if they can earn it, they get the opportunity to make minimum wage or better, or we place about 150 to 200 people a year in full-time competitive jobs because they're ready to make that final leap. But until—
But that's out of 1,100, right?
1,100. And you can't, some of the other assumptions is that a paycheck, minimum wage, or someone is going to fix all their problems. It will not. And it ignores the fact that they need supports. A paycheck doesn't take away their disability, doesn't take away their vulnerability. And so I think it's very important that we don't cut them loose, mainstream them all, and feel good about that, and they wind up living under a bridge somewhere, some other government entity's problem. They're always going to need those supports. They're always going to need some help. They need professionals. And so there is an environment where people can work through that and go as far as they're capable of going, still making money, still supporting themselves and their families as much as possible.
So in reality, this is the, it pays. The business part pays for the nonprofit part.
Absolutely.
All right.
With no money, no mission.
No money, no mission. So again, if you'd like to learn more about Beacon Group, please contact Beacon Group at 308 West Glen, Tucson 85705, website beacongroup.org, and the phone number 520-622-4874. Patrick, thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
That was great.